Hello.
Hi. I'm so excited to see you. I haven't seen you, I feel like, in forever.
I know it's because we see each other every few days, and then when we don't, I should say we see each other online every few days. We haven't seen each
Yeah,
other in
not in
person
real
in a
life.
while.
We need to fix that. I
I know.
was thinking about that now that Axel's been better. I'm like, we need
Mhm.
to schedule something. So, yeah. And
Yeah,
then I forgot to text you. So, here we are.
it's hard. Summer's hard. I mean, it's busy all the time. I shouldn't even say just summer. I think we have more downtime in the winter, but then I just hate driving. But
Yeah.
summer
Mhm.
seems to fill up very fast. But
It
yeah, now
does.
that Axel's good and you're all moved in, yeah, we should get a play date together.
Yeah, and then we can share about our play date because I don't think Axel and Eleanor have seen each other since February-ish timeframe.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
that was like
I
at a
think
big
so.
event, so like they really couldn't interact directly, just the two of them.
Yeah, and Eleanor struggled because she's much better now, so I don't think she would like cry or get upset or anything like that
Hmm.
this time. And even last time, like the time before that we went to your house, and even then she was like still
Well, she was out of
kind
her
of
element, but she warmed
yeah.
up eventually. I mean, she sat in the
She did.
chair. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be good. I think it'll be cute. It'll be cute to see them interact.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so we have been laughing while eating. And I think this started because my sisters,
Really?
yeah, my sisters hang out with him sometimes when my mom gets him from daycare, like after school, because they'll get home from school and he'll be there, whatever. And so now we do this thing where we take a bite and then we do like a scrunch face and laugh. And then we take a bite and then we do a scrunch face and laugh. And then we like cough because we're choking because we're laughing. And I'm like, you are creating so much anxiety for me right now. But he had so much fun just
Oh
like
no.
eating and smiling and laughing. So
Eleanor does that. She's really goofy eating. Like she'll do that where she does this like face where she scrunches up
hmm
her whole face and is smiling
yeah.
and her eyes are like really squinched and then she pulls her head up and it makes Rob and I laugh so hard and she does it like every time. She's like like so goofy while we eat. It's cute.
And just it's just funny because I was like, I don't think of ways that you can still interact. I mean, while eating other than talking, right? And so he's just like having a
Yeah.
ball, laughing while eating. And then I also got a new mom car, so that happened.
Woo!
I am now part of the minivan clan.
Ooh, I'm so
So yeah,
jealous. How
so yeah,
exciting.
it actually was like a lot that sells like rebuilt titled vehicles, and so
Mhm.
obviously they're cheaper because it's a rebuilt title, but it was, pretty clean and like minimal damage to the front end that was replaced. So, yeah, decent mileage. And yeah, we tested it out. We're like, okay, we're going to buy it. And then we ended up buying it. And now I'm a red minivan mom.
Ooh, red. Is it town and country?
It is a Dodge Caravan.
Oh, caravan. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been looking at some vans to maybe just buy. Like, I want to spend maybe 5 grand on like a van. It can have a lot of miles. It can, I just want it to be reliable in a
Hmm.
way, but also cheap, just as like a second car that we can pile everything into. But I've been looking. We'll see. But I'm excited. I want to see it. You'll have to send me a
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah. Yeah. So we did that. And I did a lot of research on some vans, and it sounds like a lot of the Toyota and Honda ones like last a little bit longer than like Chrysler and Dodge. But for what we needed it for, it's
Mm,
not like I'm gonna have it for 10, 20 years, like it's gonna be used every day
right.
anyway. So
Oh, speaking of vans, did you guys have this van growing up? I think it was called, is it called a conversion van? I don't remember, but it was very boxy and there was so much room and there were so many amenities. So there was like the TV up on the front and it had like the DVD player and it was like carpeted and it had this like nice light down the middle and it had all these compartments for your stuff and it had these plugs for your headphones. Do you remember those vans? Like I want one of those.
I remember those, and I literally saw a TikTok the other day where this girl was doing a tour of her van, like that.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, "Did you see this TikTok too? Like, is this what you're telling me about?" Because she was literally showing, "Here's the TV, here's the lights, here's the plug for your headphones."
The only reason I thought of it is that's the van we had growing up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I didn't have one of those. I
Mhm.
had those my grandma had those is it the Astro or Arrow?
Mhm. Yeah.
One of those, but not the fancy ones.
Yeah. So for me, we went to the zoo yesterday. So we do this every year where we go with my parents. Generally, Isley is there. We bring Eleanor and we walk around the zoo. It was a lot of fun. It's so much more fun now that she is a little bit older and is comprehending. Before we went, I kept telling her, we're going to the zoo. And she kept saying, monkeys? Ooh, ah, ah, ah," and she kept like making the noise. It was really cute. So that was a lot of fun. I wanna take her again. I swear every time we go, we only see, like, half of the animals. It's so much with a
Yeah.
child because you gotta take them to the bathroom, you gotta make sure they're eating, and then you gotta stop to put them in the stroller, you gotta take them out of the stroller, like, everything just takes so long.
Mhm. Yeah, that's how it was last time when we went.
Yeah, but still a lot of fun. So we had a lot of fun doing that. I wanted to give you an update. Remember how I was telling you about like slime and how I was like super into it? I was watching all these videos. Oh, Eleanor's trying to come in. Hi, baby. But how I was like super into all of that and bought some slime.
Yes.
Okay, well, I got it a few weeks ago. I meant to update you. So I got it a few weeks ago and I like take it out and I start playing with this and I'm like, I'm just not into this.
You're
Like,
not a slime girly anymore.
no, I just like watching the videos, I guess. But the smell was weird. Like it was supposed to be scented, like blueberry lemonade. So I was really excited, and it reminded me of like toilet bowl cleaner. Like that's what it smelled like.
Ew.
I know, and it just wasn't not fun. It was like an icy slime, I think it was called, or snow slime. I don't know, but I was disappointed. I was very disappointed that I didn't end up liking it. So I think the videos are just for me.
Yep, just the videos, not a slime girly.
Yeah. And then a quick update. I know I've texted you a bunch about this, but Eleanor is finally taking some steps.
Woo!
I know. So she's been working on her standing up a lot. So basically, all the time, she's just like standing up and doing this. She like, does this with her hands. So she's been doing that a lot. And now she's just like taking steps. Rob was outside with her and he called me out and he was like, she's just standing up and just walking. He's like, I didn't do or say anything. She was just doing it. So I really think she likes to try to walk in areas where she doesn't want to crawl. Like our grass, it's not super nice. Like my parents have like really nice grass because I think it was sod, right? So they had it like
Mhm.
grown and put in, where ours is like kind of thick and uncomfortable, if that makes sense. Like it's just
Like
not
the
nice.
crabgrass, like?
Yeah. Yeah. So she doesn't really like to crawl in it, so she's constantly like standing up. So I think that's kind of encouraged her to walk. But yeah, exciting. Maybe in a month from now we'll have a walker.
Very exciting. Oh,
Yay.
yeah,
Mhm.
Axel will do this thing where he stands up and then he's constantly just, like, pulling on my shirt, and so, like,
Mhm.
I'm always flashing everyone around me because he's just pulling my shirt down. I'm like, "Okay, okay."
Yeah, Hunter does that too. She's definitely in this like hang on to you for dear life type of situation. Like when I'm
Yeah,
holding her, when she's standing and holding on to me, I'm like girlfriend. Okay. Well, welcome everybody to the Mom Era podcast. My name is Megan.
and I'm Alyssa.
Today, we are talking about a topic that's becoming increasingly important for parents, especially in the digital age, and it is the impact of sharing our children on social media.
As moms, like, I mean, I'm guilty of this too, like, I love capturing and sharing precious moments of our kids, like, my kids. Everyone loves posting their kids growing up.
Mhm.
But with the height of social media, it's important to consider the long term effects of putting our children's lives online. So, from privacy concerns and the potential risks of online predators to the digital footprint we're creating for our kids, there's a lot to think about. And think we just wanted to dive into our thoughts, the impact of sharing your children on social media, and then experiences that we've had or things that we've seen.
Yeah. And I want to preface this episode by saying if you're somebody who shares a lot of their child online, we're not shaming anybody. Like, you're welcome to share as much as you feel comfortable as a parent. If you're not worried at all, that is your prerogative. You're welcome to feel that way. I just want to make sure that everybody knows we're not shaming in any way. And these are just our opinions. We do have some research that we've included in this episode, but otherwise, our experiences.
Yeah, and every parent feels differently about what they want to share with people personally or online about their children, and totally like do whatever you want. These are just our personal opinions.
Yeah, exactly. So let's dig in. So there is a term, sharenting, which when I first saw this word, it kind of reminded me of sharting, like sharding.
Me too. I was like, what?
But it does combine the word sharing and parenting. And it's the phenomenon where parents are sharing personal identifying information, so such as photos, videos of their child online. So, primarily, the parents are sharing on their personal social media. So, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of that.
Yeah, and there was a study that was done in Europe that ended up reporting on average parents share. Maybe that's why it's called sharenting, parents share about 300 photos and sensitive data concerning their children annually. So if you think
It's a lot.
about how many people there are and then per child, oh gosh, yeah,
That's a lot of
three,
pictures of
or
children.
even of their children, maybe. But
Mm
yeah.
hmm. Mm hmm. Yeah, and there's lots of risks to sharing children on social media in this manner. It's very nuanced, it's very complex. I think most parents approach social media as a way to share their happy moments with their community. I mean, I know when I'm on Facebook, I love seeing my friends throughout the years share their children. Like, I love that so much. Though unintentionally, this can expose the children to serious risks, such as sexual exploitation, digital kidnapping. I remember I watched was it Mari? Is that his name? Episode where this woman was just stealing these pictures of this woman's twins and posting them like their own. Like, it was very strange.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then it can also create future emotional distress for your children. As a parent, you're creating this digital footprint without your child's consent and without them really having knowledge of it. They won't know until they're older that they've been put out on the internet in any way.
Yeah, and then maybe it's things that they didn't want to be on. I don't know. It's
Hmm.
very, very interesting because you think about it as like sharing your child online, and then they would potentially see that later on. Like
Right.
our parents weren't really, this online stage wasn't happening when we were younger, so there wasn't like a lot of sharing of us online.
Right. And that's the scary part, I feel like, because we don't really know the full impact yet. Because I don't even know if there are adults yet who've had their whole lives shared online in the same way that the children right now do.
Hmm.
Maybe there are some becoming of adult age, but even then I don't know if it was as prevalent in the beginning of the internet stage to do that as it is now. So we are probably within the next 10ish years going to see the impact of posting your child so much on social media.
Hmm. I think we can go into a little bit more of our experiences, but I want to share, or I think we should share more about like what we found in this topic too, because I'm like eager to talk about what I think, and
I know,
I
yeah.
like want to go over this first though. Child abuse investigators have found that hundreds of thousands of innocent pictures posted of children on their parents' social media platforms were found on pornographic platforms, often accompanied by an inappropriate or explicit comments, which is like scary because you would think like your child's fully clothed playing outside like would not end up on a site
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah, like just playing in certain positions can be taken by predators to be sexual, which is so gross. It really grosses me out. And we have to think about too, like immediately after images and videos are posted online, control over them is lost. And I think another scary thing is that Wi Fi home cameras and Wi Fi baby monitors can create that digital footprint if they are illegally hacked and accessed and end up in the wrong hands. They can be posted all over the internet of your child sleeping or whatever they're doing in that intimate, period of their life. So we used to have a Wi Fi one. I don't anymore. I don't want one. It really freaks me out. But it's definitely good to use caution and safety measures with this kind of technology.
Yeah, I did not get a Wi-Fi one from the start just because I wanted to be able to use it even if I didn't have Wi-Fi. That was
Yeah.
and then also the risk of it being hacked because I had just seen so many people get hacked.
Yeah.
But that is like weird to think about because I'll keep the baby monitor on sometimes when he's playing and I'm in another room, or like it's might just be on while I'm like changing him and putting him to bed and things like that. So you don't think about what someone could see through the
Right,
baby monitor
right.
if they hacked it instead of just the
Yeah, you're
baby
so
sleeping.
busy as a mom, you're not like, "Okay, I need to turn this off because somebody might hack it." Like
Because of these risks, some state governments are passing bills to protect children on the internet. I think a lot of these are more geared towards people that are like vlogging their children
Yeah.
constantly instead of just posting their baby on the internet. But Illinois, for example, recently passed a new bill amending the child labor laws around compensating parents who exploit their children online. So, if they're generally seen in TikTok channels or family blogs, this would apply to them. It goes into effect, or it did go into effect, in January of 2024 and allows teenagers over 18 to take action against their parents if they were not, like, if they were featured in the videos and were not fairly compensated for it. It also sets regulations around requiring children 16 and under to be compensated if within a 30-day period they are at least in 30% of the video or online content that the adult is being paid for. And it's crazy because so many people make so much money online and
Yeah.
a lot of it is like because of their children.
Mhm.
So this is a way that they can help regulate the child not receiving any of that money.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the social media, I think TikTok, I mean, obviously I'm more on TikTok. I don't like don't follow family vlogs, but I see a lot of it on TikTok and a lot of it is very concerning. Sometimes I'm like, the children are playing and they obviously got a perfect shot and I think to myself like how many times did you have that child do that to get this shot that you wanted? It's like you're taking away their childhood so you can get paid. I just really don't like the family vlogs, the TikToks with the children in it for monetary purposes. I think it's huge exploitation, but I'm glad that some states are passing things like that. I think more will
Mhm.
down the road.
Yeah. I mean, I watch a few vloggers that their main like content is like infertility, right? But their children
Yeah.
are on it. And if I do watch a family vlogger, it's more like their children are involved in more of an unconventional way. Like it's not like planned out. Like
Mhm.
they'll just like show the baby in the corner.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, definitely when it's like all about the children constantly, or, making a full on TikTok for the child,
Yes.
that
Mhm.
yeah, I'm really curious to see what the impact is long term.
Yeah, I am too. I feel like I mean, you're seeing some of the I don't know if you've noticed this, but I feel like we're seeing right now a lot of the impacts of those families who were on TLC and these children were recorded for their whole lives. I feel like there's a lot of fallout and there's a lot of things coming out to the public in terms of like discrimination and the way their childhoods were and whatever, and it's pretty sad to watch those, I think. So I think we're going to have a similar situation with this kind of social media, like sharing also.
Yeah. One thing I thought of when I was kind of like thinking through this episode was Teen Mom. Did you ever watch Teen Mom?
Yes. And I wouldn't say I watched it like religiously. I don't think I've watched every episode, but I'm pretty sure I saw like the first season.
Okay, because I watched like Teen Mom 2 a lot. Like probably just like kept up with it over the years. Like if I was
Hmm.
bored, then that's something like I would binge watch to like keep up on,
Yeah.
whatever. But it was interesting because Chelsea, she had the daughter Aubrey. I don't know if you remember her, but
Mm-mm, no.
she was in I think South Dakota. I don't know. Anyway, so at a certain age, she had like stepped away from the TV show, and a lot of them have because obviously their kids are like
Hmm.
teenagers now. But the main reason that they were stepping away was because of her child's age, and at that point, they didn't think that it was like necessary to have everything that was happening in her life like recorded
Yeah.
and on TV. And I think that that was at first I didn't really understand it because I'm like, well, you've been a part of this show. Like people would be
Hmm.
invested, people would want to know. But like, I mean, as they're becoming 10, 11 years old, they don't
Right.
need to be broadcasted and it can impact their childhood. So I just
Hmm.
thought that that was interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. I mean, good for them for stepping away. I think too it can affect children even at a younger age, but I definitely agree that like puberty age is very sensitive, and to not have any say or control of what was put about me online, because these TV shows like post, I don't want
The
to say
most
post,
dramatic piece. Yeah.
yes, controversial, yeah, to get you watching.
Yeah.
So it's sad. Do you want to dive into our experience and
Yes.
how we feel about it?
Yeah. You go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
So, Rob and I had a lot of discussions about how much of Eleanor's life we wanted to share online, and we both agreed sharing on social media should be limited. The internet is forever, and we would hate for something we post when she's so young to have an impact on her when she's older. So, it's a responsibility as a parent that we don't take lightly. We're also very cautious of online predators. Like that really freaks me out. So before posting anything of Eleanor, I went through my friends list, like before even giving birth, and I deleted hundreds of people I didn't personally know or I hadn't talked to or seen in a long time, and made my account private. Another really big rule that we have is to never post pictures of Eleanor if she isn't fully clothed. You won't see any pictures of her in the bath. And I don't want to shame anyone, but I have seen some pretty concerning pictures shared publicly of like some of my friends on Facebook of their children during bath time. On Snapchat one time, I could see the whole child's genitalia. And I'm like, no. Like, how are you not? That's on Snapchat. Like, how are you not worried about that? I know I'm coming off as shaming, but I think that especially is not okay. We shouldn't see any of your child's genitalia.
Hmm.
But yeah, we don't want to take any chances. So I won't post anything without her shirt, without clothes on. I've seen friends post pictures of their toddlers running around with their butt, and it's just a picture of their butt, like or a video or something. And I don't want that out there of Eleanor ever without her consent. Now, to get into me, I don't want to say that we don't share pictures of Eleanor at all. I love her. I'm proud of her. I want to show her off. So I do post, but I try to limit it, and I could probably do better. Rob's really good. Rob doesn't post anything. More often than not, I generally use stories, which again do disappear. They're not permanent posts, but they're still going on the internet. So it's not like their digital footprint disappears. But that's generally where I tend to post. It is a way to share those precious moments with our closest friends and family without necessarily it being on my permanent page. But I it's hard sometimes to
Hmm.
refrain from
So hard
posting, like
because you
so
want to
hard.
share your baby with the world.
And it's so common practice, like, everybody is sharing their children, and I just want to join in on that. She's just so freaking cute, I think so. Um, but yeah, so, I could do better at it, and I just kinda follow the guidelines Rob and I have set out and, try not to post a lot. The internet is a crazy and scary place. And I feel like I have to be vigilant about protecting Eleanor's privacy. So it's a constant balance between sharing the joy she brings to our life and ensuring her safety and privacy is protected.
Mhm.
So I am constantly thinking about that when I post Eleanor. But yeah, it's tough. Sometimes I don't want to say all the time I think about deleting my social media. And I don't know what
Me
it
too.
is.
Oh my god.
Why is it so hard to do? Why? I don't
Because it's
understand.
kind of like the way I feel like that you stay up to date on some things nowadays. Like,
I know.
but also, like, the only thing that I use Facebook for is the groups that I'm in to communicate with people
Mhm.
in the groups or to see what people are doing in the groups so that I can learn from that. Or, like, if I want to buy or something. But then, like, Instagram, it's just to post pictures, but I don't like to post a lot of pictures either. So I don't know.
Yeah, I
I always
know.
want to delete it too.
Something I do, which this doesn't have anything to do with posting Eleanor, but to keep myself kind of off social media is I don't have my notifications on. So I'm not constantly notified if something's happening. So I'm like, tempted to look, but yeah, maybe I should just pull the trigger. It's so hard.
It is because it's like, I don't know. I'm in a lot of like IVF groups or
Mhm.
like my local township group to
Yeah.
find things that I need, or what's the other group I use a lot? The Little Sleepies group sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But like
Have you bought
literally,
anything from them lately?
no, I was waiting for, don't they have like a big sale in May? Oh, it's the end of May. I don't know. I was waiting for the next big sale, but
Yeah.
I'm also not into like the zippies anymore. So I really
Mhm.
like a shirt and a pant for
We do two
pajamas.
pieces a lot too. Yeah, they have that.
I know they do, but I bought so many like around Thanksgiving and they still fit. And I
Yeah,
just can't bring myself to buy more when they still fit. And I have so many
exactly.
pajamas. So, yeah.
Sidetrack, but yeah, I get it.
Question for you. Did you and Rob have that conversation about the whole social media thing before you gave
Mhm.
birth to Eleanor or after?
Before, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Because I guess digging into my experience or my opinion, I before Axel had shared my infertility journey, like personally, I made like a separate Instagram account with like immediate friends and family just so they could stay up to date over throughout my pregnancy. I would post my pregnancy online with my friends. So I felt like super excited to share this like miracle that
Yeah.
and the second we had Axel, like we posted that he was born and then I never wanted to post him ever again. Like, I literally got this, like, immediate, like, mom thing, and I was like, "I don't wanna share any more posts." So,
Mhm.
like, I would even feel weird if family members were, like, sharing pictures of him, and, like, we use the family album app, so I don't know, it's basic if anyone's familiar with it, but it's basically a family album. It's an app. You can add pictures of your baby and like you add family members. So they have to be on the app, they can comment, they can add photos that they take of your baby and it's just shared with everyone that's only added to this app. And it like does reminders and like videos so like it keeps popping up and showing me this was Axel 1 year ago today and then you want to
Aw.
cry every time you see it, right?
Yeah.
But it's a really great album and I have like my nephews and my niece on there too, so it's like everyone can look at they can flip back and forth between
Mhm.
everyone all the time.
Yeah, so the
Um
most important people in your life have access to see
yeah,
without
instead of
posting
having
it
to send
broadly.
pictures and yeah.
Yeah.
So I honestly I had a few friends ask me if they were, I think you were one of them, if I was
Mhm.
comfortable with them posting Axel on social media, when we had gotten together for play dates, and very grateful that they even asked me if I was comfortable with
Mhm.
that. And then I've had people ask me like why I don't post him online, and it was just this immediate thing. I just felt like I was so ready to just be sharing with my friends, my baby, and I just had this immediate feeling I didn't want to. So we really do not post Axel online. If I do, it's once in every great while. Even if I do include him in like a video or a story, it's like you really don't see his whole face most of
Mhm.
the time. Tend to be a little bit more lenient, and I don't think this is any better, but like on Snapchat, because I'll post like a story. But
Yeah,
that's because
stories seem safer, don't they? Even though it's, like, the same thing. I
it's
agree with
saved
you.
though,
Yeah.
because they'll be like,
Yeah.
"This was your story 1 year ago."
Right, right.
um,
Mhm.
but I only have like 5 friends on Snapchat, like my best friends and my mom and my sisters, so no one else can see it. But yeah, it was really, really weird feeling, and I just knew immediately that I didn't want to have him on there. I go back and forth because I really want to share my
I know.
story from an infertility perspective and like be a resource for other people, but I also don't want to share anything on the internet or anyone to know anything about me either. So I have this constant battle in my head where I'm like, delete all social media or share my
Mhm.
story and be a resource. So maybe this
Well,
podcast is my happy medium.
that's what I was gonna say. You're sharing I feel like you're sharing your resources on this podcast in the way that's helpful for others without, I think, compromising, you know, your privacy, your son's privacy in that way.
And Austin doesn't post at all. So he don't- like I'm not worried about him posting anything, but we did not have that conversation beforehand. And I think mostly just because like when we got to it, we would just, decide or
Mhm.
whatever. And yeah, it was just a really weird thing. And so after he was born, and like, immediate family members were like sharing pictures, which they're very excited, very, like, oh my gosh, I want to share
Mhm.
him, which is great. Then that was when I was like, okay, we're making the decision right now. We're going to tell everyone we don't want him posted on social media unless we post it. If it's a picture we post, they're more than welcome to share it.
Yeah.
And so that's what we did communicate. And yeah, that was when we had the conversation.
Yeah, that's a healthy boundary. We haven't talked to family members and haven't told them to post, but none of our family members really post a lot. I mean, my mom doesn't post, my dad doesn't have social media. Like it's just not a concern that I had to bring up luckily, but yeah, I know that can be a tough subject for people to
Yeah.
bring up to some of their family. Like please don't post my child.
Oh yeah. I mean, I put it on like the family album app, and then I would tell people in person, and obviously everyone respected my thoughts on
Mhm.
it. And if I ever felt where someone, may have unintentionally done something, or, you know, did it after the fact, then I would feel comfortable having a conversation with them, or just saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, like I really don't want this posted," and I'm sure that they would respect it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I know you've been really good at it. I feel like how you're approaching it is how I wanted to. And then I kind of got lost in the
Well, and
the
like
dopamine of
yeah,
posting her.
because it's fun. Like all my friends will post like their, monthly updates, and like talk about, oh, their baby's doing this, and I'm like super excited and like
Mhm.
happy for the baby, and you want to comment and like it. I think having the family album app has helped me because I'm
Yeah.
posting all of that there, and I'm getting that out. If I didn't have that, I would be more like you, where I wouldn't have
Mhm.
self control in that area.
Did you do monthly milestone pictures?
On the album app, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you took them.
Yes. And like I can add as many people as I want. Like we have his like old babysitter on there. But mostly I kept it with immediate family because
Mhm.
I post some pictures on there that I don't want some people or people
Yeah.
outside of our family to see. And we've had to set boundaries too on that, because a lot of people want to be included, and I want to include them. I am very grateful that they love our child and want to be seeing the pictures. But that was where we had to stop at immediate family, because we would have so many people, and some of the things that are posted, like, I might, look weird, or like my baby
Yeah.
might be in the bathtub, and I just don't want other people having access to those pictures.
No, that's completely fair. I think it's cool that you guys do is it called the family album app?
Mhm.
Because I looked some up and there looked like there were a few others. One was called Tiny Beans and 23 Snaps. Did you have to pay for the app?
Yeah, it's like $4 a month. It's like a subscription you pay to have the premium to add a child. I don't think I have to pay for any more children. After that, it's just like the
So, like, do the people who want to have access to those pictures also have to pay? No, so it's just you because you're the one posting to the album?
Yep, so once you make, like, a child profile, you're the one that pays, like, the $4 a month, and then you can add whoever you want to it.
Okay. God, I hate monthly subscriptions, but it does sound nice.
For $4? Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I think my brother has 2 on there because he has 2 kids, but I don't think he pays anymore. Then
Yeah.
it's just, like, premium or non-premium.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way. I think there are lots of like other ways that you could share photos with family members. That's a really good one. My family tried to use Google Drive, and then I created like a Gmail address for our family, and then everybody would have access to the drive, but didn't work out well. It didn't. It's like hard to load, hard to access from your phone. You don't know when new things are posted, but it is a way. One that I like that I might consider stealing the idea for is buying like a digital frame for your family members and having remote access to that frame where you can upload pictures to the
Mhm.
family frame and so they can see that in their house. I liked that. I was like, oh, I want to do that.
Yeah, I really like that, and we've thought about doing that for my mom over the years, but she can just see it on her phone, and
Yeah.
so I think that's why we shied away from it.
Is there a limit to the number of photos you can upload?
No. And then you can even do, like, there's, like, a store, and it'll auto make, like, a book, and it'll have, like, the comments that people. Well, it does, like, the
Oh,
first comment that people commented on it, but,
have you done one yet? A book?
my dad did. It was really cute. They're, like, cheap because you get, like, 4 free prints every month, or 8 free
Oh,
prints every month you can get, but you pay, like, $2 for shipping. So, it's,
oh
like,
yeah.
whatever.
So it's
Um
basically the cost of the prints.
Yeah, but then it shows you, like, who was on last, and then it'll show you the most recent, like, grantee commented on him making a tie-dye t-shirt yesterday.
Oh.
So, but yeah, and then it'll make first movies.
So does it send you like a notification on your phone? So if you were to post something, does your like
Mhm.
mom get a notification?
Yeah, and then, like, if someone comments too.
Yeah.
We use video calls a lot, like, we will FaceTime family
Yeah.
members, especially Austin's family mom and dad, because they're out of town. You could use group text messaging. You could also do printed picture books. I know you had talked about this for Eleanor.
Yeah, I do an annual book for her every year, which has been very difficult because we take a lot of pictures. So like I was like, "Oh, I'm going to do 50 pictures a month," which sounds like a lot. That's a lot of pictures. And I couldn't even get down to 50. So
Oh my
I've been
god.
struggling to make her first year's one, but I have all the pictures. I just have to go through and do it. But this is something I've been doing every year for the past, I think I started 2019 or maybe 2020, where I would make like a family book for the year and kind of post all of our pictures into a family book because I feel like with the digital age, a lot of pictures end up getting lost,
Mhm.
which really sucks. It's so hard. I have a bunch saved on a drive somewhere. I have some in iCloud, but just having that like physical copy, I just really like that. So I'm doing one for Eleanor so she can take those with her, when she's older.
Yeah, and it's really fun to go back and look at the pictures from when we were younger and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And you're right, I move all my pictures onto this drive,
Yeah.
and then, like, if something happens to this drive, like, I don't know.
Bro, yeah. They're
You know,
gone.
so.
I know. Yeah. Something I've been thinking about too. This is kind of off track on other ways to share photos, but I think we shared all the different ways we had in mind. But, something I think about often is in the digital age, there's this constant tie and connection to people in a way that didn't exist prior. Like if you think about if you think about even prior to the internet and you would just have a landline and somebody would call, like you just I guess weren't attached to the internet in the same way that we are now, to where like if somebody calls or texts you or posts on social media, everything is immediately accessible,
Mhm.
and people are like expected more or less to engage in all these things in real time. And I think it's created this like it's just very overwhelming for me to be so connected in this way, and tiring. And I feel that way about social media too. Something I've done recently is if I post anything, I remove likes, to where like if people so if you were to look at my Instagram, you can't see the like count.
Oh.
Cuz I don't want to, this is something I just thought about, but I don't want, even if I have posted these pictures of Eleanor, I don't want her to look back on them and say, "Oh my gosh, I only got 12 likes,"
Mhm.
on this picture. Like I just don't think the like count is important and is beneficial for children, for adults, for anybody. So that's something I've done. I don't know. This just like tether to everybody to the internet. It's really hard to explain what I'm trying to say, but I just feel like there's this connection that exists, that like everybody is supposed to be available and sharing everything about their lives at all time. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, because if you don't, you're weird.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, and
know?
exactly like you said, people asked you, like, "Why aren't you?"
Yeah. Which is like,
Because it's weird not to.
I
Or
mean,
it's
I appreciate
unusual,
you
unnormal.
asking, but like, yeah, at the same time, it's like, why does it matter?
Mhm.
I have an thought, and I don't know if it makes feasible sense to start tomorrow, but we should challenge ourselves and do a month or summer off of social media,
Ooh,
except for obviously posting our podcast,
podcast. Uh-huh. Yeah, let's do
which
it.
will be hard. I thought about, okay, start June 1st, but I'd have to figure out logistics of what I would still need access to for the podcast.
Yeah.
So maybe month of June or July, we should do that, or over
Yeah.
the summer. We'll
Y
reconnect.
We'll reconnect and see what that looks like, but I like it. I like a detox.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
what people call them?
So I think that wraps up our episode. Again, we are just sharing our opinions, facts that we found online, things that people have, expressed concerns in with the world of social media. And so we wanted to find other ways that people can still share and get the joy of their children
Mhm.
with family members without having to resort to social media. So we hope this was helpful. Again, we are fully in support of anyone who does want to post their children online. We are not shaming anyone. We are just simply sharing our specific experience.
Mhm.
And with that said, what mom era are you in this week?
I am in. So this is very similar to last week, but still in the crabby, very sensitive era. Eleanor is in her mom era also. She is so attached to me. And I saw her open her mouth the other day, because it's so hard to see inside a child's mouth when you're like actually trying to see if teeth are coming in. But
Mm-hmm.
she was like laughing and head was back, and I could see that there was one coming in on the bottom. I could see two coming in on top, and then I'm pretty sure I saw some further back. So she is just really crabby and in pain. She's like biting on everything. She's like taking her mouth and like rubbing it on everything. She's really attached to her passy because I think it helps soothe, but that's
Mm-hmm.
the era we're in. These need to pop because my poor baby is just not having a good time. She's trying to, but she's struggling to have a good time because she's in a lot of pain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in my is this teething mom era because for the past 15 months, I've been asking myself, is my baby teething? I don't know. I have no idea. We don't have any teeth yet that I know of. The top two gums look really puffy. and you can kind of see an imprint of a tooth. Like you can see it's white behind the gums, but
Mhm.
just nothing's popping through. So I feel like I'm gonna wake up one day and things are just popping out everywhere. But I don't know what teething is. I do not know.
Does I know it's hard because I've been through it and sometimes I'm still like, I don't know, but I have very clear symptoms right now where she's putting everything in her mouth. She's putting her hands in her mouth. She's chewing on everything. She's obsessed with her passy. Like I said, she was in her chair to eat yesterday, I think. And she was like turning around and she was putting her mouth on the back of the chair and just
Oh my god.
going like this for her teeth. Yeah, because it hurts them coming through. Now, I think it gets more painful as they're trying to like poke through the gums. And so
Hmm.
I think when that happens, you'll probably be like, oh, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean he's been constantly chewing on things, but not
Mhm.
like it's never been like excessive, or when I start to think it's excessive, then nothing happens. So like
Yeah.
I really don't know. I really don't know. I
Is
do not
he
know.
teething? Or.
We're just going to be teethless forever, who knows.
Mhm.
But we'll update you after the pediatrician and what they recommend, because they said if he does
If you
not
do not.
have any teeth by the 15-month appointment, then we may go see a dentist to make sure there are teeth there.
And that's coming up, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Next week.
Oop, yep. Keep us updated
Yeah.
and see what
All right.
happens. Okay.
Well,
Thank you, everybody, for listening today. You can reach out to us on social media
Mom Era underscore podcast.
and we will see you next week.
See you
Bye
later.
bye.